Yeah, I'm a writer and a director and an editor, and basically all of those processes are intertwined for me. When I'm writing, I'm thinking about the edit and I'm thinking about how things are going to be staged, and it all just kind of feels like one job to me. Is that okay? I just love films. And I just want to be close to films. Like, that was always how I felt since I was a child. It's just like I want to watch them, I want to see how they're made, I want to read about them, I want to know about them. I just love them so much. And I think my interest in filmmaking is really just wanting to be that much closer to it and extend my love of it and like see it from the other side as well, and hopefully contribute something to the form too. But when I'm making films, I'm such a fan. That's one of the great things about being a director. Like, I'm such a fan of so many different people, production designers and cinematographers and actors and all these people, and I get to work with people that I'm like a fan of and see their, you know, and shape something that I think is going to really show off what they can do. I wrote short films at a very young age, and I did sort of make them. One had Santa Claus in it, I remember. But I think the first feature I wrote was in high school. I wrote 2 or 3 features in high school, and I didn't make them. But then I slowed down productivity-wise, because I think I was a teenager, I wasn't super self-aware, wasn't super self-critical, and it was much easier to write that way. So I was writing features quite quickly. I think the films that I make are emotionally a bit eclectic, even within one film. So probably they would be called dramas. But I just made a documentary for the first time, and it could also be called a comedy, I think. When I made my first feature, I wrote it for free, obviously, because we just made it out of pocket, and I worked with another writer, also not paid. I directed it for free. You know, all the money we were able to get went on screen, basically. And we had a lot of favors and things like that. Totally non-union, scrappy, low-budget thing. And after that film won an award and had a theatrical release and stuff, there was a bit more interest in funding my next film. And the first thing I did was sort of try to team up with a more established production company in Canada, and I did that, and one of the first questions they asked me was like, "You're not in the union, right?" And I realized, like, oh, I'm not going to get paid very much for this. I think there are a lot of issues in the film industry in Canada, and I think particularly in English Canada, I think there's a lot of things we could learn from the way that French Canada funds and promotes the films that are made there. People will say that there's more of an audience for them there, but I think it's sort of it's a cyclical thing. If you don't promote things, then you don't have an audience, and then people will say, well, there's no audience, so why would we put money into promotion, et cetera, et cetera. And I think at some point you have to take the leap to say, we want to promote these films. We want to make sure they're out there and that people know they exist. I want people to do what they're excited about, and I want to see what other people are excited about, and I want to see an ecosystem that supports that. Like, there's so many, like, it's such a shame that individual voices or ideas aren't valued that much, and because, yeah, it's not like one good idea doesn't mean you don't want these other ones, you know. I want people to make the stuff that they're excited about, even if I don't like it at all. I want an ecosystem where that's like everybody is passionately creating something that they really feel is great. Cinema has this possibility to sort of translate emotions and ideas into concrete things involving time and space, and that's composition and movement and color and sound, and all of that is very exciting.